What is going on, people? Welcome to this video. Bear with the echo in the audio. New office. There isn't shit in here, so very bad sound quality. But bear with me because I am going to cover a lot about how to grow on social media. Specifically, if you're like trying to start your offer as like a trainer or coach in that kind of world, because it's probably the best decision you'll ever fucking make, in my opinion. So let's get into this. So who am I? My name's Sean. Sean Warbowski. I fucking sound like James Bond there. Also, this is going to be very raw, unscripted. Bear with me again. I'm asking a lot from you here, but trust me, it'll be worth it. A little backstory on me. I've basically been doing two things for the last 3 years: sales and content creation. And now I'm combining the two. I got started in 2023 in the high ticket industry. Before that, I was doing some B2B tech security sales. I did door to door at one point as well. Fucking brutal. But from there, when I started closing and getting into the high ticket industry, I thought, maybe I should start posting content and documenting my journey. Actual bad idea. With the not bad idea, but not really necessary to document your journey. Anyways, I'm fucking yapping. I decided I was going to post content along with growing my personal brand. Now, I had always also been interested in personal branding, content creation. I think it was just like the generation I grew up with. Everyone's trying to be a fucking YouTuber, everything like that. I always thought it was really cool. I made videos with my friends. And so I was like, well, now I'm kind of doing something interesting. Maybe I should try and take this quite seriously because as I said, had been posting content beforehand. So with that, I, basically went through the trenches of the online space, was an SDR, closer, did it all, worked on a bunch of different offers. And throughout all of this, I was also studying content creation. I was posting content mainly on TikTok around sales. I did some fitness stuff, just kind of whatever my interests were, becoming the niche. And I had bits of success here and there, went viral a handful of times. So I didn't really know what the fuck I was doing. I thought going viral was like just yelling at the camera and being fucking stupid. I guess it can work, but not a very predictable system. That's foreshadowing, by the way. So yeah, with closing and sales, I really got to dive into the online space. Made my first real, dollar on the internet, and it was kind of no going back from there. Got to learn a lot about the tricks of the trade of sales, from the actual skill set to sales process to just learning offers in and out. And I had a couple pivotal moments. One being when I was actually getting started in sales, I realized from a mentor that the best way to the best way to get offers that pay you is to actually build a reputation, aka a personal brand. And so I did this in one tiny corner of the internet, the online sales industry, the online sales niche, on Facebook. I grew my personal brand. People knew who I was, and therefore I was getting job opportunities. I was providing value, sharing insights, and I was generally just connecting with other closers and people in the industry, and that changed my life. It fucking changed my life in just like this little tiny corner of the internet. So when I had that understanding, I was already posting content. I was like, wow, if I can really crack this content thing, like everything changes. Like literally everything changes. Like the power of a personal brand, your reputation, is just immaculate. There's nothing more powerful than it. Pair that with another experience I had closing for a guy who had 1 million subscribers on YouTube. This dude had such a warm audience that he would funnel from his YouTube to a webinar that just it was just an infinite money glitch. I've never had warmer lay down leads than closing for this dude. I had multiple people hop on a sales call with me ready to drop $10,000 with no objection. His audience was rich business owners. And keep in mind, this was not overnight. Like, I had guys coming on these calls saying they've been following him for 3 years. But he did the legwork, man. He laid the foundation. He targeted the right ICP. And he consistently produced high-value, educational, entertaining content. And what that led to was an infinite money glitch, man. Like, packed fucking calendars for closers, the easiest sales I've ever had, quite frankly, and $10,000 tickets. Like, boom, 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 boom. Like, it was belief shifting, paradigm shifting for me of like, okay, you crack the organic shit, and you have a dialed sales process, and you're going to be a millionaire. It's just, you're going to make millions of dollars. I just don't know. It might take a few years, but it's going to happen. Okay. Yes, and I'm not anti ads, cold traffic, or anything like that. But the thing is, because he was actually running ads too, it is a rising tide that lifts all ships. If you have a strong organic presence, your ads just perform so much better because people see your ad, they say, let me go check this guy out. They research you. Oh, he's got 1 million subscribers on YouTube. Oh, he's got like 1 million followers on Instagram. Like, who is this guy? You know what I mean? And they can just consume your content, interact with you, and get to know you as a person. And by the time they get on that sales call, they're already pre-sold, right? So, just one of the more powerful forces of nature that exists, nature, is having an organic personal brand. So here's the thing though. Most guys, most coaches, most trainers, most people trying to start posting content, they do the general advice, which is well-intentioned but often poorly executed. They go to YouTube and they start doing a bunch of research. What is content strategy? What are good hooks? All this stuff. I need to post 10 times a day for volume. And like I said, these are not bad ideas. It's just poorly executed because what ends up happening to most people, myself included, is analysis paralysis. Now, in my own journey, I did that. I went to YouTube, right? Started searching up content, how to get better content, hooks, all this kind of stuff. Then I ended up dumping money into coaching and mentorship. Some of it helped. Some of it was kind of a waste of money, transparently, because a lot of content coaches know what they're talking about, but they're teaching incomplete systems, which is, again, foreshadowing. And so with my paid trial and error as well as free trial and error, I first off became extremely confused because I thought I was learning a lot about content, but everything was contradicting itself. I was like, wait, this guy says to go super wide and post a bunch of viral content, post 10 times a day. This guy's saying like post once a day, make it super niche specific, and like target your ICP, and like both of them have big following. Like I just don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. And so I also am like a pretty, I guess you could say, like creative person, the creative Afric Rubin. So I struggled with like organization and data and stuff like that, which is again foreshadowing. But all of this information was just confusing the living fuck out of me. Some people were saying post authentic content. Others were like, just copy everybody else. I'm like, what the fuck? And what do I do? What do I fucking do, man? And it took about a year of being in this, like, just, what the fuck do I... I opened Pandora's box by doing this, and I have no idea how to fucking close it, right? And it took a long time, lots of money spent, to start to finally see the light. And then once I did, it clicked. And I was like, oh, this is the game. I understand how it works. So again, I'm just going to run through a list of probably some problems that you're dealing with and how to solve them. Okay. Your videos, you feel like you're getting good at your videos, like they're improving, 1% improvements every day, but the views are not translating. You're still stuck in 1,000, 2,000 view jail. You're like, what the fuck? I thought this video was better. I thought the hook was better. I thought I provided value. Like, you're making good content, but nobody's actually consuming it. You don't have a consistent system for posting content, so it's just kind of in the moment when you feel it. You're a sales guy most likely, so you understand consistency and you're capable of showing up. But your problem is like, there's got to be some fucking system for this. And when I say system, I don't mean posting schedule. I mean like system for ideating, system for scripting and creating, system for post production, distribution. All like, you need to get more systematized with this because this shit is time consuming and it's hard. It's a very hard skill set to learn. You also, again, don't have predictable content systems. So everything you post is a one-off, right? You might have seen bits of success, but how do you double down on that? How do you recreate it and keep that momentum going? Things of this nature. Generally, you're probably feeling kind of discouraged because you're like, okay, I know this shit works. I know it's a force of nature. I know it's incredibly important, but why is it not clicking for me? What is holding me back? What's wrong? Why am I not good at this? I feel like I'm good on camera. Like, I feel like I can talk well. I feel like I'm a great communicator. Why is this not clicking for me? Right? I understand where you're at, brother. Deeply. And the solution for that is a few things. and they all it depends on where you're at, right, in the stage of creation. If you're under 10,000 followers, this is your main focus right now. You need eyeballs, you just need reach. Okay, can you monetize under 10,000 followers? For sure. I closed my first client with 400 followers 16 days into a brand new account. Okay, and I did it in the DMs, no sales call. It's like $1,200 for like a brand new offer. I was like, let me see what I can do with this. You can monetize with a small audience, but generally speaking, you should be just trying to get some more eyeballs. Okay. Um, Two ways to do this, and specifically if you're kind of new to the content game and you just the skill set isn't there, we need to be stealing like an artist and borrowing authority or curating our content. Especially curation is especially important, and borrowing authority if you yourself are not like, fucking Grant Cardone or like the Wolf of Wall Street, or just like if you don't have like this existing giant like reputation within the sales industry, but you still want to grow your brand, borrowing authority is going to be massive for you. Curating content and then like stealing like an artist. So let's dive into these, and then after this, I'll explain kind of like the levels up from this, or maybe I'll explain some principles. I'll start with principles, and then we'll get into strategy. So, principles to content creation, successful content creation. First and foremost, idea is fucking everything. Idea, creativity, it's everything. Okay, but you also have to understand there's a balance between the art of content and the science of content, because it is both. Okay, there's data and there's science. There are systems that will tell us what we need to improve on, what is good in our content, and also the creative process of ideation. Now, if you can crack the idea part, everything gets better. Your hooks will just, if you have a great idea, your hooks just get better. Like imagine a video that goes like, I teaching you how to make your first $10,000 a month online with high ticket sales. Right, kind of boring video, generic. But if you had I tried to make $10,000 in a single month from remote closing without internet access. Now we have something more interesting because there's stakes, right? The hook writes itself there. The video idea is interesting because you're like, how do you make money on the internet without internet service, right? Like, it's just a more interesting idea. The packaging is already done for you. Like, it's all idea. Everything about content is idea. Mr. Beast literally says, you should just focus on making the best content strategy is just making videos people want to watch. All right, there we go. I could probably end the video right there, but easier said than done. There are processes to finding great ideas. Some of them will come organically from yourself, just your own lived experience, which those are great because nobody can copy those. However, there are validated research-backed ideas that should also be incorporated. And understanding the research process is massive. Best platforms to do this, Reddit and YouTube. Why? Well, they're what actual people use, right? So searching keywords in your niche, in the sales niche or whatever, on YouTube and Reddit, taking those YouTube videos, the comments, the transcripts, the Reddit threads, throwing those into Claude, saying, Claude, Big Daddy Claude, what the fuck's going on here? What's the main idea? What's the thesis? What's the general sentiment, the consensus, the problem, the conversation being had in these threads? Taking those and making videos based off of those ideas. Again, you're going to have to make them more sexy because it's AI. But generally, that's a great ideation process for you. Okay? So that's the main principle. Next principle, I would say, is hooks. Right? Everybody says it, and it is crazy fucking important, but nobody gives a good idea of like, how do you make a good hook? Super simple. Say some out-of-pocket shit. Right? Michael Jordan is the worst basketball player of all time, and here's why. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? LeBron or KD is a better offensive player than LeBron. Ooh, that's kind of contested. Is he? Right, but it's a hard take. It's like, well, I want to hear this guy's take. I guess another principle to content is curiosity. Right, anticipation, curiosity is the main emotion that you want people to experience on when they click your videos. Okay, what is this guy gonna say next? Right, and so we can do that by hard takes, hard opinions, things like that. As well as curiosity-inducing questions, right? Can you close a prospect in 15 minutes? Kind of a shitty question, but like, what are the 3 questions needed to close a prospect in 15 minutes? Now, that's a little bit more curiosity inducing because you're like, I want to close a prospect in 15 minutes. I want to know what these 3 questions are, right? The other thing, I guess, principle to hook specifically is contrast does really well. I thought it was A, but it's actually B. I thought prospects built off of trust, but they actually buy off of conviction. Ooh, right? Again, curiosity inducing. There's tension there. These are emotions that people should feel in the first 3 seconds of your video. When they read that thing on the screen, when they hear you speak, it's like, what is this guy about to tell me? Okay. So these are some of the principles. Now, diving into some of the systems here. Stealing like an artist. Okay. Why is this so important? Because it ties into data. Instagram specifically, YouTube as well, provide us with endless amounts of data of what is working on the platform specifically, and if we know how to do research, what is working in our niche. We can try and reinvent the wheel all we want, or we can do like what good salespeople do when they come onto a new offer. They copy what's already fucking working, and then they adjust from there. Okay, they find the script from the top closer, they watch his calls, and then they follow his process to a T, and then once they kind of have that dialed down, then they start making their own process, right? Same sort of thing with content. So there's a couple ways that we can do this. First is just platform specific. Go on to Instagram, search keywords in the search term, follow creators you like in your niche and similar niches, and start to dissect their content. What we're looking for is called outlier content. Super simple. Any video far outperforming their average baseline views and follower count by a multiple of at least 2 to 4x. Let's say they have 5,000 followers, they average 1 to 2,000 views per video, and they post a video that gets 500,000 views. I don't even know the multiple on that, but that's a good video to look at. Now, here's the thing. When we're going to go dissect this outlier content, it's not just views. We also need to look at engagement. If they have a video that has 500,000 views but 5 comments, that's kind of a shitty video, honestly. So we want high views, high engagements. Engagement means comments, shares, reposts, likes, right? If all those are signaling an outlier, then the content is worth stealing, right? And when I say steal, it does not mean word for word, bar for bar, copy it. It means what is the format structure? What is the idea? What is like just the structure of this video? And what elements can we take from that and apply to our own ideas, our own unique experiences, that sort of thing. Okay, that's first and foremost step 1. That's how we steal content like an artist. It's not copying one for one. It's taking and dissecting elements of really high performing content and applying our own structure to it. Okay, boom, simple. Next, boring authority curation. Okay, this is a massively under slept on, let's say, strategy for getting an account off the ground. Here's why. Unless you have a massive reputation, as I mentioned earlier, people don't really know who you are or care about you. Even if you've closed $10 million, right? People don't really give a fuck or know who you are. Okay? So, an easier way to get off the ground, and trust me, this is not going to hurt your authority or anything by talking about other people, but that's basically what we're going to do. We are going to talk, ideally positively, about other people in our niche. Okay? So, what this might look like, maybe there is a video from Grant Cardone, right? Where he breaks down his sales process, and it's a 20-minute YouTube video. You go watch that video, you take some notes, you have 3 bullet points, and you go make a video saying, hey, I just watched Grant Cardone's sales process breakdown video, and here are my 3 key takeaways from one of the, highest selling, public stage speakers of all time. I don't know. That's kind of the idea here, is we're going to curate our lessons and our ideas based off of people who already have attention. Let me break this down for you as well. There is an existing stream of attention to these people already. They already have followings, right? Instead of trying to create our own stream of attention, we can just kind of insert ourselves into their stream, dig a little stream back to our pond, okay? So this is a super simple way to get your first win on social media, is to literally just curate your content, your lessons, your knowledge, your value based off of existing content and other people's and in your niche based off of other people. Okay, super easy way to do that. I hope that makes sense. So those are like 2 beginner kind of like content strategies. Now, here's the third and final thing that I'm going to leave you with. This is really related to my process. Is social media is really hard, so let's try and make it easy by making predictable, repeatable content. Okay? It is one thing to have a one-off viral video. It's a whole other thing to create a system or a series of content that we know will perform well. Okay, so what our goal is, the speed run, is to find video ideas, topics, formats, whatever, that we can basically turn into a series. Okay, that we can do episode one of, like the closer's guide to their first $1 million, uh, discovery, objections, intro, rapport, uh, trust building, like whatever, right? Like that's an idea. Like what I just did there was package a series, like the closer's guide to their first $1 million, but then the variables are these like objections, discovery, whatever. Like we want a repeatable, predictable format or content strategy, right? And the way to do this is with series, right? If you can develop a series, then you can basically make the same video over and over and over again, with the variable being the value, whatever you're talking about, and that is the only changing factor. This approach has been one of the most, I guess, predictable rises on social media that I've seen. What am I fucking saying? I have majority of the creators I've seen that have blown up on social media basically blow up from a series. They don't blow up from one-off viral videos. It's normally they find something that they works for them, and then they remake that video like 20 fucking times, and their account just blows the fuck up. Okay, that is the goal. That is the goal. Speed run to that. Okay, a series content. So this video went way longer than I thought, but I hope you at least now have some ideas of how to grow on social media, specifically your first, 0 to 10K, 0 to 50K even. If you want some help from me, you can tell me I'm handsome, and then either comment on this video, DM me on Instagram, wherever you're seeing this, and I will get back to you. And whether we need to hop on a call and I can walk through this with you in more detail or whatever, you can respond to some fucking lead magnets. I don't know. I don't know how you're seeing this, but get in contact with me. I'll make it easy. Instagram's definitely the best place. You can comment on this video, respond to a fucking lead magnet or something like that, and I'll see what I can do to help you with exploding your fucking brand. Here we go. Cheers. Tell me I'm handsome. Bye.